How's it? How's it?
Good, thanks. How's it?
Oh, not too bad. Thanks. Sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late. Yes, I've had one of those days where I'm like, get off, get off. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. You know those meetings. Just one more thing. Yeah, I had a couple of those. Sorry, I just see here. Chris says I'm on the road today. And you see the excuse from Makata is on leave and Masana has client appointment. Oh, all right. No, not many of us again. So let's see. Chat, how's it?
I'm well, and how are you?
I'm very lekker, man. Can't complain,
That's
eh?
good.
Yeah,
That's good.
can't complain. We tick along, eh? As they say in the classics.
Are you Ketumutsi? Ketumutsi. Hello.
Hello, Gert. I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Oh, good. I don't know who else is going to join us. To be honest. So, what I did, do me a favor, both of you, just make my life easy. Just put your LinkedIn URL in the chat for me. And then what I'm going to do, I need to just find something for you. Ready? Let's grab those. Okay. I'm going to give you guys also a LinkedIn URL. So let's open Pat, your LinkedIn URL?
I'm busy. My system is slow. I don't know what the hell is going on here.
Yeah, system is like taking it 3 times.
Copy. And then like olden days.
Wait, I got it.
Snow.
You can relax now. I've got it after all that. So do me a favor.
There you go.
Okay, lekker. So do me a favor, in LinkedIn, right? I gave you a URL. If you guys just open that URL, and then she doesn't have a name on it, but her name is Delvin. You'll see when you open the URL. Okay, I need you to send her a connection message. Okay, so just say, hi Delvin, I'm with Momentum. Please send me Sales Navigator.
I missed you. Say what must I copy that?
So just click on it. It'll open for you. So like I'll show you. Yeah. So you're going to do this.
Okay.
Let's pull this here and show you the wiki. So what you're gonna do is like on your account, you'll find her account, and then you'll just go down here and send her. Oh, I can't send a connect because I'm connected, but down here it'll either say connect here or here, and then you just click on it and send her a connection message. Like if I was going to, I should be connected to you guys. Let's say I want to pick any other arbitrary.
Sorry, my system. I don't know if it's my internet or what, but I'm Dilwyn Stafford. What must I do? Must I connect and then send her a message?
Yeah,
connect and then send.
No, yeah, in the connection message. So let's just use this person. I don't know who she is, but just for the sake of this. Yeah. So when you go into somebody's profile, you'll either have the connect button here, or if you don't find it there, you'll click here and it'll be here. So one of the two, right? Then you click on it, and then you add a note, and you say, hi, Delvin. Hopefully you guys can all still add a note. I think you should be able to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just say, hi, Delvin. I am from Momentum. Looking forward to the Sales Navigator link.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to phone Delvin now. I suppose we should get these other folks as well. Let me just who is she? Is she an owner or what is this chick? I don't know. So, what I want to do is, oh, he's got to send a connection request. I can't do it. I still after this, I'm in love with my profile. That was awesome.
Zoom is not responding, you dumbass. Wait. Connect. Send add a note.
I'm not sure. The other guys can get sorted when they get sorted. Have you sent, both of you?
Busy.
Yes, I've sent.
All right, cool.
Oops, sales. No. Up, please. Can I tell her I love her?
It's me. How's it? No, all
Sent.
good, thanks. So I've got a bunch of these guys are not on today. They had some crisis, but I've got two guys who should have sent you a connection request. Mitsu and Gert. Can you quick go and see if all right, so can you accept those and see if you can and send? I'll tell you how to do it. Okay, can you do it now? Because I want to get him to do it and try. So do it and let me know you've done it. I'll wait for you. No pressure. So there's so all those other guys. I'll get them to send you a connection request. And then because they're not going to get it today, obviously, because they're not here. That's what happens when you don't come. I just want to make sure that that they get it, because I've noticed sometimes with LinkedIn, even when you send it, because it's supposed to just send them a message. Sometimes it doesn't do it, and you've got to actually copy the actual link. I don't know why. It's weird, but it does happen. It's quite a good way to network, actually. So if you just type his name in, so if you type Gerard, it should come up like that, and you'll see it, because you can only send it to a first level connection. So if you type Gerard, then it will bring up any Gerards you've connected with, and then you just click it and send. Oh, get it. Get it. Just see if you received it.
Not yet.
Yes,
Make sure
I've
that they
received.
just check your messages. You should have a message from Darwin which just gives you the link. Can you see the link? That's the important thing.
Yes.
Cool. So you owe Delvin a referral, just saying.
Double brandy and coke.
No, a referral. She doesn't drink. She's straight laced. She just wants clients. But actually, this is. So I'm talking to both of you at the same time. So if it sounds strange, because I'm having two conversations on two different devices, so you can both hear me. So what I was saying is this is quite a cool way to network actually. So she's an accountant, a bookkeeper, and you guys are in a similar business. So this is the great thing about knowing different people is that and you guys will see you're going to have a client that's got an issue, and then you'll remember that Darwin was the one that helped you when you needed Sales Navigator trial, and you can send your clients to her.
So, okay, she said she will send it. So,
You're winning there.
Hi, Gert.
Okay. So Ketimetsu's got it. Gert, you should have it. Check your LinkedIn messages.
There's a link here. Must I click on the link?
Okay, you got it. Yes, you should.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
fantastic.
you.
Okay. You can't hear them because they're on a different device, but they're both saying thank you, thank you, thank you. And very, very grateful. And I'm very grateful as well because now I can teach them Sales Navigator. So I'll touch base with you soon. I'll get the other guys when they come. I might have to be next week, and then I'll get them to connect with you and do the same thing. All right. Thanks, Dylan. All right. Keep well. Thank you. All right. Thanks. Okay. Bye. Right.
James, before you continue, I just want to ask Ketumetsi a question.
Sure.
Yes.
Can you see what is your niche that you want to follow, or what you want to do?
Oh yeah, so entry level corporate professional mothers.
Okay. And can you see the opportunity?
Well, I've seen a group of South African women in business with like 64 people. So I'm gonna join, and then I'm gonna see if, yeah, like to see like if they're mothers, that's a challenge. So I'm gonna try and use like Facebook and Instagram as well to see if I can see if they're like mothers as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So the cool thing is, right? Like now that we'll get you guys activated on Sales Navigator. So as we get you activated, the plan is I'll teach you Sales Navigator. So like we'll take your initials and we'll go find them. I'll show you how to use it. There's different ways, right? So like your mind is already thinking about how to do it, but there's other ways also. So this is the whole point here is to be able to really broaden your horizons. And those two sessions we did earlier, I know they were more theoretical. Well, actually only really the one because we spoke about how to use LinkedIn. When you do Sales Navigator, it just takes it up a level. Gert, for you, Sales Navigator is going to be amazing.
Look, I've started, when you said we start out, I've scaled down all my contacts because I didn't want any idiot on my profile. I only kept people that's relevant to what I do on. So I bulleted every Tom, Dick, and Harry which because I didn't understand LinkedIn. I didn't like them. Okay, I didn't like them. So the second week that we had to send out invitation. So I scaled it down to 42. I'm on 155 now. Good quality. Good quality.
Good man.
In my circuit. So suddenly now, I realized this since our third meeting. But listen, here's something going on, because if I could connect to my network in a professional way, that will be that there's no other option for them actually to engage with you. So I'm really looking forward to growing that professional network, and obviously, and then to get people, because already people are asking me simple questions, where are you? We need to get in touch. One advocate came back to me, said, listen, we do this. Even Jeanette Marais, the CEO of Momentum, came back to me, so I really see the potential here. I can really see it. It took me 9 years and 2 sessions, 10 years and 2 sessions to understand this. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's there's a couple of things I'm really going to still do for you guys, right? The Sales Navigator is a big thing, but like you guys are starting to see that. This is why I say you have to actually do it, because this is now where the results come. And then what I'm going to help you with, because the hard part is what comes next. So you can write a connection request, that's easy, okay? After that, what now? So I'm busy working on a couple of GPTs, which I'm going to help you with to help you with the what now. And that will allow you to start conversations, and I'll teach you a methodology. And then honestly, guys, I promise you, it's just a case of freaking do it. It's like, just do it, and it's going to happen. I mean, in fact, you're already seeing, because your profile is right, you're targeting the right people, they're already starting to ask questions. It makes sense to them. It's even if you didn't say, hey, let's have a meeting, they're saying, hey, we must get together. This is what happens with the system, is they ask you.
Correct.
So, all right. So let's do this. One of you, doesn't know which one, share a screen and I'll talk you through this. So, the one I'm talking through will do it, and the other one will just do it by themselves. Who wants to share screen? Gert, I think maybe if you share, I'll talk you through how to do this. You can just follow with us. So what you guys will need is just you need a credit card, right? They won't bill you, but you need a credit card to activate it.
I just have to go to my car, but my purse is in my car.
Oh, okay.
Can you see?
I can. All right. So go do that, because we can't do anything until we get to do it.
Shall I quickly go get it?
Yeah, quickly go get it. So, anyway. Oh, it's nice to hear he's already getting some action. And that's just, well, I was going to say it's just from his profile, but to be fair, he's been sending out connection requests if he's already added 100+ people. So he's doing all right. And his stuff is very focused. Like I know, because I spoke to him individually. He knows exactly who wants to speak to him, what he's doing. So he's like, target market is like dialed in. So, all right.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So when you really just click on that link in Delwyn's message,
okay,
that should open up. So can you just follow along?
All right.
In fact, you can close that stupid bar at the top on the right hand side. It's got a little X that's asking you to make this your default browser. If you don't want to, just get rid of it. Then you've got a bit more. No, top. Yeah. No, top. Sorry, top right, other left. What's wrong with me? Top right.
there.
Check this, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
Just 1 second. Check this. Yeah. No, on the right hand side. Where's your? I can't see your cursor. Where's your cursor? Okay, top right. Side, yeah. No, down a bit. There's another X just below that. Just put your cursor straight down. A little bit more. There. Or do you have a thing in your way? Yeah, that thing.
Dumbass.
Get rid of that, because it's just gonna fucking be in your way the whole time if you don't.
Oh my goodness. Oh, there.
Yeah.
This one here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, don't do anything. I want to show you something. Look what's happened.
Okay.
You've gone into your profile, right? You've just connected with Delwyn.
Yeah.
Look whose post is the first post in your feed.
One check to transfer your log. Yeah.
That's Delwyn's post. Look, her name, Delwyn.
Okay.
So this is a very important lesson, right? This is what LinkedIn does. LinkedIn says when you send a connection request and someone accepts your stuff, then what LinkedIn's going to do for the next 2 or 3 days, it's going to show you the posts of the person. Now, she happened to repost this, right? It's going to show you the posts of the people that you connected to. If you engage, it'll keep showing you. So this is a great way, if you're posting something, to get in front of people. It's just another small lesson. Not that it's that critical. Okay, so actually what you want to do is so go to your, just go to your messages, bottom right. All there, it's fine. Yeah, click there, it's perfect. We don't know where you were, it's okay. And then Dylan's, so that link there, no, up one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just scroll up. Right. Yeah. So not that link. Yeah, that thing.
Click on
There.
it.
Yeah, and that should hopefully take us to. Here we go. Let's just be sure. So this is Navigator Core. Yeah, that's fine. Redeem offer. Yes, they pushed the price up. These assholes there. It's $1,500 a month now. Sure. Okay, so you get first 2 months free. That's cool. You can redeem the offer. Actually, before you redeem the offer.
Oh, sorry.
No, never mind. I'll show you when you're on. It's fine. That was my fault. I would have spoken earlier. Okay. So you need to just select your payment method. I think what we should do just for this chat, I don't want your your credit card details to be recorded. So I'm just gonna stop the recording for a second. So what you want to do is just fill that in, and then when you've done, just you know, you can actually just do the same on your side, and
Okay.
push it through. Just let me know when you guys are both done then. I'm gonna go get some water refill while you guys do that. I'll be with you now.
I'm done.
Yeah, it's winning.
Yes, I'm done. So I say try for 0.
Okay, hang on a sec. Share your screen again. And just talk you through the next few steps. There's a couple of important things I just want to point out to you before you skip past them.
Share. Can you see?
Okay, so 2 months free trial, lekker. Oh, you're done. Scroll down. Okay, so just you might want to make a note, right? So look at that. It's going to say your free trial begins today and ends on the 27th of May. So put a note somewhere just in case. LinkedIn will tell you, but like just in case, because if you decide, listen, $1,500 is too much, I'm going to cancel. then you need to cancel before the next billing cycle, obviously, which is the 27th of May. Yeah, but LinkedIn are quite good. They'll tell you, and you just go into your Sales Navigator account and you just cancel it. It's not, you don't have to ask questions. It's just click a button. Right? So try for 0, yeah. Thanks very much. We'll try for 0. We like that. It should take you straight in. We are processing. Do not refresh. Thank you very much. Welcome. Okay, we now have Sales Navigator Core. So you can click on Go to Sales Navigator Core. Get the message? You're on the same page with us?
Yes.
Okay, lekker. Just shout if you're not. So that if something goes wrong, just let me know.
No, what's your problem? I must go there. Yeah, sorry.
It's just taking a while to load for you. Okay. Welcome. There we go. So scroll down a little bit. Because there's a get started button. So you go there you go, get started. Click that. Just click that first person.
She's not this one. Why?
Well, you need to click one person. Actually, no, click one of your first level connections. Click in on square.
Okay.
Because you have to click one of them so that it lets you do the next. So save one. Sorry, not click, just save. Save in, and then the next button will become blue. Then you click that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the next button at the bottom, in the middle.
Oh,
of the
next.
screen.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you just had to save somebody so that you could get past this damn screen, and it should take you in now. Okay. Don't just close that. Click the X at the top of that box in the middle. Okay. So what you're seeing now, right, is kind of like the home page of Sales Navigator. You won't spend a whole lot of time here, but you might. So that feed that you've got there, at the moment, there's nothing in it because you don't have anybody in any of your lists, which we'll talk about. But as soon as you do, it'll put their posts and things into, so this is a different feed. So what you must understand about Sales Navigator is it's actually a different product. So LinkedIn's got one database, 2 products. One is free, LinkedIn, which you all use. The other one, which we pay for, is Sales Navigator. So although it uses the same database, it's a different product. And you'll see like the URLs are different for somebody on Sales Navigator versus LinkedIn, etc. So it has its own feed, it has its own inbox, etc. Now, my advice to you is that when we send connection requests, then that you don't do it from Sales Navigator. So we use Sales Navigator to find the people we want to speak to, and then we go back to LinkedIn. But I'll show you that in terms of what I mean. Because, and here's the big because, if for some reason you don't continue with Sales Navigator, any information that you've accumulated in Sales Navigator is lost. Even if later you decide, okay, let me go back and renew my subscription, LinkedIn deletes everything. So first lesson is we don't want to create our data in Sales Navigator if we can avoid it. So we use it for what it's designed for, is to find people and to kind of manage lists, which I'll show you. And we send messages in LinkedIn. Okay, so just sort of remember that. I think at this point, Ketemitsu, you're at the same place.
Yes.
Okay, so I think it might be easier instead of me doing it with Gert. Let me take the screen back and show you on mine so that I can sort of talk you through the basics. You guys can sort of follow and see how we do it. So
I just want to confirm what you just said. You said let's say we get one guy on Sales Navigator, and then we go find him on LinkedIn and then send a request from that page. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. I'll show you this now. So don't stress. But yes, and it's one of the reasons I take great pains to tell you that is because it's not the end of the world if you don't, right? If you make a mistake, the world is not ending. It's just that you don't always get all your messages in LinkedIn, and you have now you have to monitor 2 inboxes instead of 1. Like, it's painful enough having to monitor 1, never mind 2. So I'm going to take the screen back from you. I think I'm going to go, and then I'm going to let's get Sales Navigator here. Okay, so when you go into LinkedIn and you get your feed as you do, now that you guys have got Sales Navigator, you'll actually see it up here on the top right. So from LinkedIn, you'll go to LinkedIn first, then you'll click on Sales Navigator, and then it'll open it in a new tab. Why? Because it's a different product. Can't open it in LinkedIn because it's not the LinkedIn product. It's just linked between the two. So this is my homepage. Now, these are all people that I've got on a list. So these are all people that are either connections or on a list. So these are all their posts and stuff, right? So I honestly don't really use this first page much. I'm just telling you it's there. Now, you'll see up here, when it comes to the search bar, we've got lead filters and we've got account filters, okay? Most people just concentrate on lead filters. You might do a bit on account filters. So lead filters is the people. So these LinkedIn accounts that we've been building now, being our personal accounts, that's the lead stuff, right? If you look at Momentum's company LinkedIn page, that's the account, right? So accounts are companies, leads are individuals working at those companies. So typically we're going to start here, we're going to click on lead filters. Okay, now what you're going to see is that you've got all of these filters here. Okay, so let me show you something very basic. If I go to LinkedIn, and let's just say I look for financial advice.
James, I just want to ask a question. So sorry, jump in here. You said you first open LinkedIn and then you click on Sales Navigator. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because you've got an icon up here, or you can just go.
Yeah. So
that's the actual URL. If instead you just go to linkedin.com/sales, that also takes you to Sales Navigator. But the easiest way to get there is from LinkedIn.
You have to have those 2 tabs open.
Well, no, you don't. I mean, if I just went here, if I just went linkedin.com/sales, oops, sales, and that's all I have, it takes me to Sales Navigator. Simple as that. So that's the direct URL, but most people get it from LinkedIn. I'm on my LinkedIn feed, I click Sales Navigator, it just opens. So it's the easiest way, because you typically start off at your homepage anyway. Okay.
Thank you.
So that's how you get there. That's easy enough. So what I want to show you is just the difference between these two, right? So if I'm on LinkedIn and I search for financial advisor, I type that in, then I'm just going to click enter. You have to just do this because you've got to activate the filters, right? And then I want to be in people. So I click on people. Okay, and now it tells me 1.960 million. So almost 2 million people, right? Then from here, typically I can go and start finding people. So let's say I want obviously South Africa, so I'll click South Africa, and then if I show the results, then 1.96 million comes down to 63,000. Okay, and then I'm going to say maybe I want them. What do I want? If I go now to all filters, let me just show you this. These are the filters that we have available. So I can ask for secondary connections. So maybe I do that. Let's see how many second-degree connections I've got. Then I'll say show results and come down a bit more. So I've got 19,000 second-degree connections in South Africa of people who have got the term financial advisor in their on their profile somewhere. The other things I can do, if I want them from a specific company, I can choose here. So like I could just say here Momentum. Just as an example, there it is. I click Momentum. Let's see how many have I got from Momentum. Of them, I've got 281 people who are second-degree connections at Momentum. Right? Maybe I don't want that, so I'll reset that filter. and then I go back to my filters. So I'm back to my 19,000. People that are followers, if they went to a specific university, you can select that. If they're in a specific industry, which sometimes is good and sometimes is bad. I'll talk you through that in just a minute to show you what I mean. Profile language really doesn't matter. For us, it's going to default to English in South Africa. There's no choice for anything, so you can ignore that. If they're open to volunteering, if you care, which we probably don't. Service categories, right? So if you've got something specific, you can use it. These service categories are categories that they self-select on their profile. I'm not actually sure if I showed you this. We might do this little piece. And then you've got the keywords here. So here's where you type in your job title, right? So instead of typing financial advisor, I could have typed it here under the job title. But I wanted to show you this so that we can compare. Okay. So now if we're at, let's do the same thing. So we said financial advisor. Now that was what so we'll just copy that. And let's see if we type that into Sales Navigator, what do we get? So we had 1.96 before, and now we're going to get 3 million plus. Okay. So obviously, you're already seeing the difference. Is that LinkedIn says, well, okay, if you pay some money, then I'll show you some more stuff. That's like how it works. And so you can see it's quite a significant increase in terms of what we had before. Okay. Then what did we do? We sorry, let's go back here. So we said we want second degree connections in South Africa. So go down here. So second degree. So first is South Africa. So now note what happens is when I click this, right? Every time I click this, number up here is going to change. So this now comes down to 100,000 plus. And if I go to second degree connections, which is over here, second degree connections, we've got 60,000. What else did we do here? We said, what was it? Second degree South Africa. Right. So here you've got 19,000 results, and here I've got 60,000. Okay. So you're already seeing a major benefit. You see, LinkedIn is now showing you everybody, as opposed to here where they hide some stuff away. Okay. This is just sort of how they are. Okay. So that's the only thing I wanted to do. I just wanted to show you the difference between these filters, which is limited. That's what you got. And then on Sales Navigator, look at all these filters we've got. We've got 2 rows of them. Okay. So let's clear these out and start this from scratch.
Just another stupid question, James. How many invites can one send now? Are we
so
limited or is it now unlimited?
No, it's always limited. So remember I said to you guys you must do that process, do 10 a week, 15 a week, 20 a week. If you guys have been doing that, if you get to the week when you can do 25, right? In other words, you've done more than 100, because if you've done 25 a day, you'll have done 125. The minute you get there, you know that LinkedIn has given you a little bit of love, and has allowed you to skip from being able to send 100 a week to being able to send 200. Then next week you can just send 40 a day. But don't try not to send 100 in one day. Send 20, 20, 20, 20, or 40, 40, 40, 40. Okay. It just works better for you on LinkedIn. They give you less shit when you do that. When you send 100, then they fucking AIs all over the show and it's checking your account, what you're doing, and it's better to just be consistent. And also for yourself, the consistency is just easier to deal with. And if you do, let me tell you something. If you do even 20, but like me, I do 40 a day. Building a list takes some time now, because I've messaged a lot of people. Now I've got to apply my mind. So, it can take a bit of time when you get into the weeds. So you want to do it as quickly as possible. Right, so you come to Sales Navigator, that's what you see. There's nothing over here because I've selected nothing. Okay. So typically, the first thing that I always want to do is I want to select the geography. So just before I do that, let me just actually show you here. There's different categories of filters, right? So the first one is the company. This is stuff that's actually related to the account. I'll show you that just now. Then you've got the role. So this is the role that individual is performing at the company where they currently work, whether it's their own company or somebody else's. And there's a bunch of stuff here. Then there's some personal, quote unquote, stuff about people, right? Which is all of this stuff. So those are the main things in terms of finding people. Then we move over to the right-hand side, where you can find people that are following your company, people that have viewed your profile recently. For you guys, I don't know about the follow. I don't know how valuable that would be, but viewed your profile certainly. And then we've got best in pass. So these will be connections. So this will allow you to find first, second, third degree connections and things. Connections I'll show you in a minute. And then down here, this is a very valuable one. People that have changed jobs in the last while, because like job changes obviously often reflect, maybe it's more money, maybe it's a different situation, okay? And that might be opportunity for you guys. So it's more for you. I mean, I guess it could work for you as well, obviously in your space. And then post it on LinkedIn, shows people that are active. I'll come back to all this in a minute. And then some workflow stuff, which I'll teach you in due course, right? So let's start here. Now that you kind of just have a basic feel for it. The first thing is I'm going to go down to the personal filters, right? And I'm going to select the geography. So for now, I'm going to select South Africa. And the reason I'm selecting the geography first is because I want to know what is the total size of the market that I have to operate in, okay? And we see here that LinkedIn tells us 13 million plus results. Now, LinkedIn is never going to tell you exactly anything. That's just how they are. So what you know then is that we have somewhere between 13 and 14 million people in South Africa on LinkedIn. And that's what you know. So this is now the size of your market, which is kind of cool. Right. So now we can go and look at everything else. So the next thing is that I'm looking now for financial advisors. Now you might think, right, that industry is a good filter to go for. So if I go in here and I say financial services, right, that's as close as it gets. But let me show you something. If I click financial services, this is the industry filter, right, which is the same industry filter that you have here. And I skipped over it and said I'd come back to this, right? So you have that same industry filter on both places. But the problem with it, you can see I've got 460,000 results. It's not only financial advisors that it's showing me. It's showing me anybody who's involved in however LinkedIn has defined the category of financial services. And remember, when somebody creates a profile, they self-select. So somebody might be in I don't know, might have an investment platform. Well, they're into financial services, so that's what they select. But they're not an ideal client for me, right? Because I need to find financial advisors that are running their business. So even this guy, look at this first guy. He's a private client advisor at the bank, right? The bank gives him clients. He doesn't need to get clients. He's never talking to me. I've got nothing to offer him. He doesn't need to get clients from me because the bank just gives it to him. You guys, on the other hand, different. You have to go get your own clients. So I can talk to you. So you see, this is not the best filter. And there's a few reasons it's not the best filter. Let me tell you why. Number one, when you join LinkedIn, you must select an industry. Okay, you can only select one. So imagine somebody's a financial advisor at Eskom. Like I see that a lot, for example. Right? When he puts in his industry, what industry is that? Is it electricity or is it financial services? Right? It could actually be either. So again, you're going to get some stuff that's mixed, and you're going to miss some people. If you say financial services, there's going to be people that have selected a different industry because why? Well, 2 jobs ago, they were in some other industry, accounting or banking. They forgot to change that. They're now financial advisors. So if I go, yeah, they're in banking, not in financial services, I'm not going to find them. Okay. And the last reason for this is that up until LinkedIn had about 820 million-ish people, they only had 147 categories that people could select for an industry. They've subsequently changed that to hundreds, if not thousands. So a lot of people didn't go and update their industries. They're still in the old. So somebody was in an industry and they said, "Oh, I don't really know where I go. Okay, this is the closest. I'll select that." That was the problem. So industry is actually a very unstable filter, believe it or not. Okay, the only time I use this filter, believe it or not, is when I go into a new industry that I don't know and understand. And the reason I'm doing it is because I want to go through these profiles and I want to start to see what these people do. See, I've got a private client advisor. I've got a group buyer. What the hell is a group buyer for Zar World, right? I've got a private client advisor. I've got a certified financial planner. I've got an independent financial advisor, and so on and so on and so on, right? As you can see. So all sorts of different stuff happening here and going on, okay? So this is generally not the best. So I'm going to actually get out of this. Right? I'm pointing out the pitfalls, but does it mean you can't use industry? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that you're going to have a lot more stuff that you can't use over here that you've got to go through. Later on, right? Maybe when you've exhausted a lot of what you're doing and you're looking for new ways to find people, then maybe go back to industry. But typically, I wouldn't start here. So it's quite a tough filter. Very counterintuitive, right? Unless you understand the stuff I've just told you, which most people don't. They think, oh, industry's great, and that's where they go. So don't go there, is the message, right? While we're here, let's look at what else is down here. So if you know somebody's name and surname, you can find specific people. You're not really going to be using Sales Navigator for that typically, but there might be the odd occasion. So these are not filters you'll use a lot, right? Profile language, as I told you, doesn't matter. And here's why it doesn't matter. If you look at the options, again, you can only select one of these. The only option we have for any of South Africa's official languages is English. So for us, it just defaults to English, end of story. So you can ignore that filter completely. Years of experience, this one, let me address it here and I'll come back to it again just now. This is an important filter, right? Because this tells you how long people have been working. So you're going to see this here. People have been working for less than a year, 1 to 2 years, 3 to 5, 6 to 10, or more than 10. Okay, those are the bands that LinkedIn gives us. Now you'll see you'll see these bands in a few places. Now here under the personal filters, right? Under the personal filters, this one here that says years of experience. This one is the total years of experience that you've been working. Okay, so when you fill your profile out, the first job that you have. So for Gert and I, that's not in Footsec. Okay, that's where that clock starts ticking. Just now I'll show you different filters, but this is often very useful to give you a sense of kind of where people are in their progression. So get the message for you where you're dealing with younger people. You can make a lot of like kind of cool assumptions, like using anything from sort of less to a year to 6 to 10. After 10 is a lottery. Nobody knows, right? Because it's blanket. But like if and this can give you a bit of a sense of how old they are. Okay, if that makes sense. So if this is their first job, these filters help you tremendously. So if any of these are basically saying these are young people, these are my target market. So this is how you apply this knowledge sort of logically to what you're doing. For Gert, you probably need oaks that are 10 years or more, right? Because you need guys that have got some gravitas. Probably not dealing with guys that are just starting working because they're not the sort of they're not in the space where they need what you have, right? So you might click more than 10, for example. Okay. So again, just you got to think about your own client base and say, okay, do these filters make sense for me? And then here's the groups filter that we spoke about. So just to show you now, if I go back here, actually, let me just open a new LinkedIn for this. If I go here and I type in financial, yes, man. I'll go back here and type financial advisor. And now we're going to groups. Okay. So these ones here where it says view post, I've joined these groups. These ones here where it says join, obviously I haven't. Right. So let's just pick this first one, the financial advisor network. And I'll open this just so that you can see what it looks like in LinkedIn. So you were saying you found one with moms, etc., right? So I've got this group now. I can see all the posts because I'm a member, right? So I've got all these posts here. If I just show you one of these others, this one I'm not a member of, it looks a little bit different. You see, I can't see the posts because it's a closed group. It's going to tell me a little bit about it. So if I click here, it's going to tell me what the group is, and then if I want to join, I must click the join button. But I can't see anything because I'm not a member. Okay, this group where I am a member, I can see that there's 18,000 members here, right? And if I click show all, which I will now do, it will show me who these members are. But being LinkedIn, I have to scroll for days. They'll keep adding and adding and adding. Now, clearly, I'm not going to scroll through flipping 18,000 people. All right, it's like it's crazy. I'm just not going to do that. However, this group, which we call Financial Advisor Network, if I type this in here, so let's see, if I type Financial Advisor, what you will see, hello, it should bring all my groups up. Let's go back here. Man, seriously. So open this again. So I just want to copy this exactly like it's got it to see if it's something up. There you go. So now I can see these results because I'm a member. Okay. So now if I click on it, what's going to happen is that it's going to show me all the members. Now remember, I've already said South Africa. So I know that this group called Financial Advisor Network has actually got 993 people just from South Africa. So if I change any of these other filters, obviously it's going to adjust this. Okay. Now just to prove this point to you, if I go to this other group that I'm not a member of, these Canonis, and I try to copy this into Sales Navigator, I can copy all I like, but you see it doesn't come up. I can't select it because I'm not a member. Okay. So the message here is if you want to use this filter, which is like really, it's a really strong filter because when I'm connecting with these folks here, I know that they're in a financial advisor network. So it's a good place to be. I know that's going to be full of financial advisors, okay, and that are probably interested in networking to some degree. Okay, hopefully that this makes sense. This can be a very powerful filter for you. Okay, so use it, and that's how you use it. But you must be a member of the group. So you have to start in LinkedIn. You can't access groups from here. So by the way, just if we go through the, let me just show you this again. Let's just do this again. So if I go back here and I type this in and I select this, and let's say that this first person is Masana. So if I copy her, right, now what I can do is I can go back to LinkedIn where I have this whole long list, and here where it says search, I can type her name in, and now it's going to find her. And in case you don't know this, you see the reason it says message here is because I can send 15 messages, 15 a month to people that are in a group. So if I send her a message, look, let's do Sales Navigator, right? So you can only really do this in Sales Navigator, but you guys can do this now. I can send her a message, any message I want. It's not a connection message, but I can message her. So it's kind of cool, right? So that's the workback, but I don't want to get too far in the weeds. Let's just stick with Sales Navigator. Okay, so I'm not going to click the group for now, but that's the group. Schools or universities. Okay, so if you select anyone at a university, so let's just click University of Johannesburg for fun, right? What I know is that of these 210,000 people who are from South Africa, that these are the graduates. Probably means these are the guys with money, which is quite cool. I might want to speak to them. Okay, so I'm showing you how to think on LinkedIn. Like a lot of people just like see a filter and it's like, oh, okay, I don't need that. No, How can you use it? That's your question. So here's how you must think about this. Remember, when you fill out a profile, you get a template. Everyone gets exactly the same template. We fill out information. LinkedIn takes that template and puts it in a database. Everybody's templates in a database. So now when LinkedIn creates all this stuff and we say to LinkedIn, okay, we want these filters. Where do you think LinkedIn gets that information from? From the database that it filled in from every single person's individual profile. So it's not rocket science. So if you understand that, when you want to find some information, you say to yourself, okay, where is this information on the profile from each filter? And you can sort of reverse engineer it. Like if you type something and you open the person, you can then go back to their profile and say, okay, I use this filter. Where is this information? Okay, it comes from there. So you can always reverse engineer this information. And that's how you think outside the box. That's how you, and Kata, for moms, you have to, because there's no category here that says moms anywhere. Okay. But you can make assumptions, right? Most people are moms, right? You're going to know, but between ages of whatever, because it's younger moms. And then you're going to, some of it you're going to take a flyer, and some of it you'll find them in a group, and some of them will tell you on a profile, etc., etc. You'll know. But you have to think outside the box. And that's where now you must start applying. Okay, the filter gives me this. How can I use it? That's your question. Okay, so now you've learned something new. We're not going to do that for now, but you could. So that's the personal stuff about people. So at this stage, we have 13 million results. And now, remember when I was giving you that the session on Boolean? I don't love this. So this is why I'm not typing financial advisor in here. I mean, I could, but I don't want to do this. I want to say financial advisor and financial planner and wealth manager and then I'm going to say not FNB, not ABSA, not etc. Right? That's where this becomes powerful. So if I'm looking for financial advisor, I'm going up to the role filter. So I want to find people in the role now. So I'm looking for the role of financial advisor. So that's a little bit different. So you'll see here, I have a couple of options. I have, the function filter. So what is the function filter? The function filter says at any industry that we might have chosen down here, right? So any company is typically going to have, and if you click on this, you will see the whole list. There's the list. That's the entire list. If it's not on this list, you can't pick it. So any business in the world can have somebody that's in an accounting role, an operations role, a sales role, an info technology role, etc. Right? Finance is about as good as I get. There's no thing here that says financial services, it's just finance. Look at all the others, right? So for you guys, you've got to think the same thing. So it's a very long-winded way of saying that typically this is a useless, for most of us, this is a useless filter. Okay. If, for example, you were looking for salespeople in a particular industry, now then it's a good filter. But normally it's not. So I'm just letting you know it's there. And you always want to think about what's the function within the industry. That's how it's linked. For the most part, you'll ignore it. But I'm just telling you what it is. Here is the big daddy of all the filters, the current job title. You remember when I told you guys this, yeah? And I said to you when we were building out the experience section, and we went down here to the experience section, and I said to you that in the experience section over here, when you say to people, what do you do? Most people are very uncreative. What do you do? I'm a financial advisor. Maybe you'll be very creative and say, I'm a financial advisor at Liberty. And I said, we want to put in as many keywords as we can over here to work out how people will search for us. And this is the reason, right? Because people put their own information in. This is current generally. So if someone changes a job, they change this. That's generally how people are. And so therefore, this little filter here pulls information from this block and this block only. Okay. And it's user generated and it's up to date. And users don't typically write strange stuff. Only the marketers write stupid shit like the Rainmaker. Okay. Everybody else will tell you exactly what they do. So, because I know that, I'm going to type in financial advisor. And again, if I start typing, stuff's going to come up, and I just select financial advisor. So now look what happens to my 13 million people. It now goes down to 29,000. All that means is that for this filter, I'm down to 29,000. Doesn't mean I've only got 29,000 financial advisors. There's more. It's just for this filter in South Africa, because those are the only 2 filters I've selected so far. But it's a good start. Okay, 29,000. I like that. I might want people that are running their own business, for example. So if I'm looking for business owners, then I might select, obviously, owner or partner. So let's see what that looks like. Of those 29,000, there are 30 only, right, that are running their own business. So, for example, Rionia, he is the owner of Milan Brokers, right? Henny over here, he's the planning partner at Advice Bergs, and so on and so forth, right? So that's one way. If I want to, I can find other partners also, maybe directors, because directors are often in South Africa are often shareholders or owners, right? 78. So not a lot of guys that are calling themselves owners who are financial advisors. And then the other one here that tends to work is sometimes CXO, but it's owner partners, directors. So CXO or C-level executives like chief executive officer, etc. They would often be in here. So if I was looking for people who are financial advisors running their own business, that's how I would do it. Okay. So I'm not going to do that just yet, but that is a way to do it. Now, while I'm up here, I can continue, right? So I've got 29,000 financial advisors. So if I go and I now put a new keyword in there, financial planner. Clearly, some of us. Planner. Let's see what it does. It goes to 34,000. So you can see a lot more people call themselves financial advisors than financial planners. And I put wealth planner, or wealth manager, sorry. I'll put wealth manager on there. I can select them. Okay. So now I'm starting to get a bigger sense of what my target market looks like. So let's say I don't want financial planners actually. Remember when we were doing the Boolean search? The Boolean search would have been financial advisor and wealth manager, not financial planner, right? Remember that. If I click on this little circle and it goes red, what it's now done is it's taken them out, and look what it's done. It's brought it down to 30,000 from 35. So this is like doing a Boolean search within the filters. You can't do it for all of them, but the ones you can. So you can exclude people and you can include people. It's very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I won't do that for now. Oh, I was a bit stupid. I should have done is just clicked it again. So this is oh, sorry, I don't have wealth manager. That's why I'm not going to find. I'm looking for financial planner. So when I excluded them, let's say I exclude wealth managers, right? It excludes them up there, and then I can just bring them back by clicking it again. So you can include and exclude. Quite simple and quite easy, right? So now I've got quite a nice search. I've got 35,000 people that are I know that they're in South Africa, and I know that they have the job title that I'm looking for. Okay, I can use seniority level. I may or I may not. For me, when I'm working with a financial advisor, I don't necessarily need seniority because I know automatically that most financial advisors in South Africa are essentially running their own business unless they work for a bank. That's why I exclude the guys at the bank. Okay. So like I could have, maybe I've got banking guys in here. So look what I can do. I go to industry. I type in banking, and I exclude them. Right? So this will bring this down. Not by much, but now at least hopefully I've taken a lot of the banking guys out. I don't have to say not banking. So you see how you can use these booleans in different places. That's why I'm showing you where everything is. Because You're really only going to get your head around this when you go play with it. I'm showing you stuff. I'm getting your creative juices flowing. But when you sit down and say, okay, that's the person I'm trying to find. How do I find them? And then you start to play. That's when the real magic comes into play for you. So seniority level. This is often when you're trying to find owners, partners, directors. So just to complete this, you'll see you have all sorts of people from entry level, right, and people in training. Then managers, there's experienced managers and entry level managers. So they do a bit of a split there. That's a relatively new filter, by the way. Vice president, don't ever use that. It's an American thing. It confuses South Africans. No, and just ignore that filter completely. And then people that are into strategic or senior. And again, I don't know what senior means. Because sometimes senior means a senior person, like a manager or a partner. And sometimes a senior means like I'm an audit senior, where I'm actually at the bottom of the pecking order, working my way up. Depends on which industry you're in. So senior is a tricky one. I would suggest you don't use it, but it's there if you potentially need it. So if you need to find owners, partners, this is quite good. Okay. Past job is the same as current job title. It's just where they were before. So it's very unlikely that you will use this filter. But you might, to be fair. So like if you're dealing with people that maybe you've dealt with or that were in a particular industry before and have now moved into something else, you can find them here because you can say they used to be here, now they're here. That's quite a good way of finding people that used to be somewhere else. And maybe they've changed jobs or they've changed industries, but you can actually find them here. So that I often find that very seldom you will use this, to be honest with you guys, but that's what it's sort of intended to do. Now, look at this. We have a different filter, and if I click on them, years in current company, years in current position, look what you see, right? Exactly the same like we saw down here in years of experience. Same bands. Less than a year, 1 to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 10, more than 10, and same here for years in current position. Okay. So what this says is, if you select this one, this says Gert has been working for 35 years. However, he's been at Momentum for 10, and he's been in the current position at Momentum for 2. Okay. That's how this filter works. So again, think through it logically. So Gert, you would start probably down here and say, I want guys that have got more than 10 years experience. So I know they're solid. They've got a track record, right? They're on my level. Now I can go and say, okay, let me find guys who've recently got a new position. So if I say, okay, who are the guys that have been in it for less than a year? Now suddenly this less than a year doesn't mean he's a muhu or he's inexperienced. It just means he's new in this job. And he might be more inclined to take your services than a guy for 60 years or 3 to 5 years. Okay. So you see how you can combine these things.
Yeah.
Hopefully that makes sense. Right. Don't want that. But this is amazing in terms of how you can structure and combine and do this. Then now we're going to talk to you about the company filters, right? Now the one that's the most important for me here is this one with a head count. Okay. So for a lot of us, when we're dealing with people, we're going to be dealing with smaller companies because the larger companies have got people in place. People with very big companies, they've got budget and they've sorted this shit out. It's the smaller companies that don't. Right? So you can see here, for the rest of the filters, apparently there are 429 of these 35,000 people, which remember are financial advisors, wealth managers, financial planners in South Africa. Right? And 429 of them are self-employed. 2,000 plus of them are working at companies or their own company that have got between 1 and 10 employees, and so it goes on, right? So a lot of us are just going to, our sweet spot will be down here. If you look, I'm never selling shit to anybody with 10,000 or 5,000 or 10,000, right? It's not happening. It's corporate. It's too much effort for me. It's like, no. And this might be the same for you. So again, use these headcounts because you can make a lot of different assumptions. Like somebody who's got less of a headcount, like if somebody, you're dealing with an owner, for example, who's got 1 to 10 employees, he's got a very different job to somebody who's got 200 employees. The demands on his time are different. The needs he's got is different. So you think about all these things as you build this up. So typically I might say, okay, give me the self-employed guys, give me 1 to 10, give me 11 to 50. For me, that would be my sweet spot. Although technically it doesn't matter, right? Because a lot of these guys are in a space where they are actually in their own business anyway. Okay, so I'm going to click out of that. But this is what I've selected. So now you can see this brought this down to 4,000 results. But I'm getting a lot closer, right, to what I want. Now, remember I told you that you only have, LinkedIn will only show you 100 pages at a time. Okay, and same with Sales Navigator. So in LinkedIn, there's 10 results on a page, and Sales Navigator there's 25. So even though currently there's 4,000 people that meet the criteria that I've specified, even if I scroll down, LinkedIn will only show me 2,500. Okay, I don't know about you, but you can't tell me there's 4,000 and you only show me 2,500. It's like, no, I want them all. So what would I do? Okay, I would go to the location filter. So I would go here, and instead of saying South Africa, I might say, let's do Gauteng. So if I click Gauteng and I take South Africa out just to see what happens, see it comes down to 2,000. So that's fine. So I'll do one search for Gauteng, and then when I'm finished, then I'll get rid of Gauteng and I'll add everybody else in. So you can see like in Mpumalanga's Mickey Mouse, it's like 31,000. Okay. Really? Yeah. So if I obviously take Gauteng out, you'll see that in Mpumalanga, very little, only 107 results. So now I would have to go and add the rest in, right? I'll have to add in like Limpopo and right? So that's the way you would do it. If you're trying to use the filters to narrow it down a little bit. So I'm not going to do this. I'm just showing this to you. But 4,000 is, oops, so, go back to South Africa, yeah. Okay, so this is where we were. So currently, what have I got? I've got small companies up to 50 employees. I've got financial advisors, wealth managers, financial planners who are in South Africa. That's the info I've got. Now I'm going to go to the right-hand side, and I'm not too phased about what's going up here. First thing I am typically going to do is I'm going to go to my connections, yeah, and because now we are going through the process of trying to find people to connect with. Obviously, I don't want to connect with my first level connections. I don't need to see them because I'm connected. It's not the purpose of Sales Navigator. So I'm going to ignore them. I want second degree connections, but I can pick second degree, group members, third degree. I'm just going to say second degree. Okay. So you also want to do this if you can. Is always try to do second degree then more than anybody else, because what that means is that we have at least one first degree connection in common. We're both connected to the same person, in other words. And people are a lot more inclined to accept connection requests from second degree connections than they are from third degree connections. Okay. So that's a good one. Now you can see now I'm down to 2,000. So I don't have to do any of the other gymnastics where I look at the people in different regions, etc. Right? My list is actually fine. So I'm still not done. The rest of this is not particularly impressive. Shared experiences is pretty useless. This tells you groups and what have you, but it doesn't tell you exactly what. I don't find these filters useful. These ones, however, are massively useful. So this first one here says to me, if I click at change jobs, this has changed jobs in the last 90 days. Okay, so it's going to be useful for me. It'll be useful for you. So Charlotte over here, she's a wealth planner at Asafin Private Clients, and she apparently has been in this role for 5 years and 3 months, which is kind of weird. So that means somewhere else on her profile, there's some other thing that she's changed. Typically, you would see this. See, less than 3 months, 1 month. Again, this guy's probably got two different roles. So this is what you're seeing. Now, seeing that people have changed jobs, this is a good time for me to speak to them, right? Because when people change jobs, it's a trigger event. So this is a very useful filter. Remember, this track is 90 days. Okay. The real value of this filter is that if somebody has changed jobs and updated in the last 90 days, they care enough about LinkedIn to have updated their profile, which is an indicator that they are probably active on the platform. Right? Remember, 48% are active, 52% are not. You're trying to avoid the 52% like the plague, because they're never going to get a connection request from you. So that's what that one's about. And then this is the big one, posted on LinkedIn. Because this is people who posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. All right, this is significant for lots of reasons. The first one is that they're probably active. Because who the hell is going to post something on LinkedIn and go to the trouble if you're not using LinkedIn and you're not active? So if you've posted in the last 30 days, I'll know at least you have been on in the last 30 days. There's a good chance. And the fact that you've posted means you know more than most people about LinkedIn. You're probably using the platform for brand building or client generation or something along those lines. And therefore, I can make the assumption that you're active. The other thing is later on, once I start talking to you, or even when I send you a connection request, I can see what you posted. And I've got a reason to go back to you. Okay. We'll talk about this in follow-up sequences, but I haven't covered that with you yet. But having people that are posting on LinkedIn makes that much easier. Because if I see something that you posted about, I can send you a message about what you posted about. And you'll probably answer me. Even though I want to talk to you about LinkedIn client generation, if I'm asking you something about something you posted, it's like, A, it'll be rude for you not to answer me, and B, you won't be sure if I'm actually interested in that topic, or if I want to hire you as my service provider. So very, very useful. Like this is one of the best uses of Sales Navigator, is to put this thing on. It's an amazing filter. I always start here. Okay, I always start here. Let me ask you guys, do you have any questions at this stage? For you guys back here.
Nothing yet. Just
No.
looking forward to trying out.
But you guys, as you're sort of going through this and thinking about your own target markets, are you seeing the possibilities?
Yes, I just want to, maybe you can do a case study for me.
Okay.
Transnet HR manager.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close some of the stuff. It's got too much shit open. Let's just open a new Sales Navigator. Let's get rid of this. That.
Kyk to Betsy. Does your name mean anything about water? Or
Oh no,
not?
it's I know it means I'm happy.
Oh, it was drinking water or brandy or something like that.
Okay, so I was showing you the lead filters now, right? But there's also account filters. So account filters are company, and if you click this button, it makes it bigger or smaller. And same with leads, right? You can make it smaller so that you've got more space here. So account filters, you don't obviously have as many because they're a little bit different. But again, if I type in here Transnet, right, hopefully it will find it. Let's just see what we have. We've got all sorts of stuff. We got lots of Transnet. Which one would it be? Well, let's go to headquarters. Let's go to South Africa. Let's start there. Would it be this first one?
Yeah, doesn't matter. Ports and terminals doesn't matter. Anyone.
Okay, well then let's select them all. Because why not? Okay, that's all shit there. Oh, is it shit? Capital
Okay.
projects, yeah, it's not for us.
Leave it.
Foundation. What that? Okay, so let's just go with that. So there's a lot. Now, if I click here, I can save them to a list, which I'll talk to you about just now. If I open this, right, I'll open a new tab so I don't mess with this. What's going to happen now is up here and the current company. Now, if I knew this up front, I could have just put them in here, but I didn't. So I started at company and I worked back. Now look at this. There's 31,000 people, but look what you've got now. You've got access to all the other filters that you had before. So you know which 31,000 people work at Transnet or these divisions or these companies of Transnet. Okay. So now we can go to back down here. So let's go to job title, fund manager. You're right.
Human resources. Sorry.
Well, human resources, oddly enough, would be a function. Oopsie, would be a function that I told you earlier. Not a good idea, but let's just see what we get. So human resources is very broad, right? So you got a bunch. You got 1,000 people are technically in human resources, but all sorts of strange people, right? What specifically are you looking for?
Look, yeah, for transit and then people working at HR, because they've got HR divisions all over the country.
No, clearly. So maybe what we can do is let's go for more senior level people, right? So let's say we want directors, HR directors. Let's see. So now there's 9 of them.
Okay.
Maybe we want okay, give us owners or partners, whatever that means. Transnet, okay. They're people with authority. There's only 4 CXOs. Okay, we'll have them. See, there's a bunch of senior people. Let's grab them. Okay. So this should hopefully give us better. So this guy, see, he's senior payroll administrator. Young professional in training. Okay, who knows why the hell that got in there? Senior diversity and inclusion specialist, assistant payroll manager, etc. Okay, so I've got a lot of stuff in here. So 618 is not astronomical to go through because you can go through fairly quickly and sort of read and see who's there and who isn't. But you've got a lot of payroll. So maybe we go here and we say not. Well, I don't know. Do you want payroll?
No, let's just go. Let's see.
So if I say not payroll,
Yeah, let's see what happens.
then it's gonna take all the people with payroll out. Okay, so now payroll guys are gone. Young professional in training. So not training. Okay, and you should be gone. Oh, took a lot of oversight. Look at that.
Yeah.
See how effective this is. So instead of you having to go through all 600, now you can just do a little bit of this, and now I see. Okay, so he's a specialist talent manager. So he's your guy, and when you see this golden badge, right? You have a gold badge now as well, by the way, because you got the trial. So a gold badge means that they are either paying for or have a free trial of one of LinkedIn's products. So he's
Okay.
So because he's a talent manager, his product is probably not Sales Navigator. It's probably Recruiter or Recruiter Lite, but it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, he's a premium subscriber. So is this guy, even though he didn't put his name in, right? Senior Manager Industrial Relations. So this starts to become quite a good list for you. Okay. General Manager Employee Relations, Resource Manager Marine Fleet, Human Resources Assistant. Okay, so that one. So I might say not assistant. Right. So this is how you go through it. You just keep making it better and better, and it gets rid of the shit. And eventually, this will be an unbelievably powerful list. And then you can save it once it is. So you can come back to it tomorrow or next week, which is cool. Okay. So what else do you want to do here?
No, I just want to get just a scope of what of how you think.
Okay. So how I like to do this also is I like to go to connections and then second degree, but this is not my market, so I'm going to have very few. See, I've only got 36. So what you're going to do is when you start, you can have second and third. That's fine. Okay. So these guys are in my network. But as more and more people connect to you, what happens, particularly you, right? Like what you've done is you've been very selective on the network. So everybody that you connect to are going to have connected to other people like them. So what's going to happen is your second degrees are going to grow exponentially fast. In fact, they've already grown exponentially fast from when you started, the last 100 you've added in the last while or whatever it is. And so while you look today and second degree says 36, a bunch of guys connect you, do exactly the same search tomorrow, and this is 180, just because you've got more oats in your network. It goes like that. So where you can, so even me, if I were you, I would start with these 36, because by the time I've exhausted the 36, I might have 136 more. Okay. So this is connections. You always, if you can, you want to try to have second degree. That's what I would do. Now, if I'm looking at this,
and we can only send 20 invitations now for now. Am I correct?
how many have you been sending?
You said 10 for the first week, then 15.
Yeah, and then 20.
Now it's the third week. We can go up to.
So do 20, and the next week you're going to try 25, right? And
Okay.
if they let you do 25, then you can just go straight to 40.
Okay, cool.
That's it. That's how you get there. If you don't step it like we're doing, then you wait a very fucking long time for them to let you do it. But if you step it like this, because we fixed the profile, that was the important piece. Now they're happy. So yeah. So we've got that. Now, if I was, let's say I'm happy with the search, right? The first thing I would do is save it. I don't think I can save it because I think I've got too many. Yeah, I've already saved too many searches. But here's my saved searches. Right? These are all the searches that I save. I come back to them regularly for different things. Okay, depending on what I'm doing. But if you save the search, like this one here is accountant or accounting, self-employed. I looked at this yesterday. You can see there's 6 new people that have already joined this list, probably because other people accepted my connection request, and now they've been added, because I always say second degree. Okay, so if you save it by clicking this button, it puts it there, and then next time you want it, you just go here and you open it and you got it. Okay, simple as that. So I would now let's say I'm happy with this list. I want to check these guys. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to collapse this down. Okay, and now I'm going to go through. So I look at this first guy. What do I know, right? Obviously, I can see the name. I know that he's a second degree connection. I know that he's on LinkedIn because he's a premium subscriber. I know what he is. So I'm asking myself, okay, senior talent manager. Oh, that seems to work. At Constant SOC, oh, that's perfect. I know he's supposedly in Johannesburg. I know he's been there for 2 years and 6 months, so he's probably like in that sweet spot. He also has 172 mutual connections. There's 172 guys that we are both connected to. So that's a big plus for me, right? I know this. And then you'll see here, it says about, and if you click on this, this is as good as it gets. And this is the reason that you want to expand and collapse this, is actually just for this, because now you can see more information. So it tells me, he says, people are not an organization's greatest asset. People are the organization. Every day, myself and many other talent acquisition professionals across the globe find ourselves in a position of not only ensuring that our purpose-driven organizations have the right people at the right place at the right time, but also position, blah, 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 right? So if, like I've taught you, we talk about what it is that we do, right? We sort of know, and then it's kind of given it away, but I don't know exactly what he does. But if there was enough there for you to make a decision on him, then you're going to say, okay, I like this guy. And I'm going to put a little tick here. And when I tick here, now you'll see it allows me to save him to a list. Okay? But I'm not finished yet. I'm going to check them all. So let's check this next guy. So Sagaran here, he's a technical sourcing officer. He's old. He's been a long time. Only one mutual connection. I'm not sure, but he's active on LinkedIn. I know this, right? Because I've selected the filter. Now, if I don't know, then I can click on his name, and then what happens is here on the right hand side, it's going to show me his whole profile. So it tells me this is the first time I'm viewing him. He's got 43 connections. His current role is this. His recent activity on LinkedIn is not a whole lot, but one connection, and that's who it is. He's technical sourcing officer. This is a really shitty profile. It's like, I'm not sure this guy's on LinkedIn, right? Because it's such a terrible profile. So I might be making the decision that, you know what, this is such a bad profile, I'd be wasting a connection request or no. Or I might say, I don't really know. Yeah, I like what he does, I'll take him. Okay, this is your choice. I would say no, me personally. Then I see Maxwell here, so he's employee relations consultant. I'm not sure what that is, but
Finish that side.
yes.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So Maxwell, I don't know, but let's assume he's good. Again, he's been here for 35 years. Only one mutual connection. I can have a look. Anything else going on? Only 84 connections. That's not a lot. I notice I don't know. Again, you can see very poor profile. Not showing that this is a man that uses LinkedIn. So would I select him? No. Me personally. You might say I'll try it anyway. Right? Because sometimes for the people that don't mess around with their LinkedIn settings, if you send a connection request, maybe he's not on LinkedIn, but he gets an email to say, hey, Gert sent you a message, and that email will get delivered. So it's not a totally lost cause. And then if he clicks on it, it'll take him back to LinkedIn. So the doctor here, executive manager, human capital, 10 people, 8 years. She looks cool, right? Yeah, we'll take her. Human capital consultant, 13 years, 7 mutual connections. Yeah, she looks cool. General manager, employee relations. Yeah, and you do this whole process, right? You go down to the whole page, right? And then you'll see at the bottom now, because there's 36, I'll only get 25 on a page. So now I'm going to say add them to a list. Okay, now I'm going to create a new list, and I'm going to call this test, and I'll say create and save. Okay, now that I've saved them, let me go show you what happened. Now it tells me that these people are on a list. If I click on the list, it's going to tell me it's on the list called Chat Test, and there's 4 people on this list. Okay, so I know. Now let's assume that I only wanted those 4 people. Now I get to the end. Remember, I've saved them first. Then I now click the second page, because this is what LinkedIn makes us do. And now we go again. HR business partner, yeah, she looks good. No, HR transfer to, yeah, all right, we'll take him. Let's say that was that. Okay, I go down to the bottom again. Now I click save again. So I've got these 2 people. See, I've selected 2. Save to list. The most current list you're using, recently updated, is there. Now I click on it and it saves. Automatically it adds them. I've got my list. Awesome. Okay. So now I have these people on a list. Now up here is where I access my list. So this is a lead list because it's the people. So I open this, and this is what I see. Here's all my lists of different people. So this list, Chat Test, which is the one we just created, I'll click on that. And now here are my results. Right? 6 people in total. 1 of them shares an experience. Okay. And so there's the name of the person, which three they connected, which list they're on, or lists. They might be on other lists. Here's the company page. Right. This one doesn't have a company page. She's working. That's why it's to add one. Where they are, obviously. This is an opportunity for you to add your own notes. Okay. I'm not a big fan of using Sales Navigator because, as I said, when you use it, you use it. But it might make sense if you, let's say you built a list of 100 people, and today you're only going to send 20. Let's say I've sent this one. I'll just go in here and I'll say done. Okay. Boom. Now it's all done. So tomorrow when I'm back, I know which ones I've done. And I just scroll down and I'm going to do the next lot. Use this any way you want, but like, I found it, I don't use it. Because LinkedIn is not a CRM. It's very, very poor as a CRM. Right? Outreach activity, nothing. So I've done nothing. I haven't sent a connection request. I've never spoken to this person before. That was the date I added it. If I click here, I can message there if I want to. And if I click this message, notice something. This comes from Sales Navigator. Okay. This is not LinkedIn. We spoke about, should I open them in LinkedIn? Yes, I'm going to show you that in just a second. If I send this message here, it goes into Sales Navigator. And you see here, I'm going to use a credit. We get 50 credits for what's called an in-mail every single month with Sales Navigator. What that means is that you can send a message to anybody. They don't have to be a first level connection. Everybody else has to be a first level connection for you to message. So if you find people that are not in your network and you think, shit, they're actually a really good match, you can send an in-mail. As it happens, I'm not going to do that, but good. You can edit the account. So if I click on this, it takes me back, and now I can do whatever editing I want. Typically, you wouldn't really edit accounts. I could connect, as we said. And again, this connection message is from Sales Navigator. I don't want that. It's just going to come in my Sales Navigator inbox, and I don't need another inbox. I've got enough in my life. So no, but good. You could add her to another list or remove her from this list. Okay, so these are the sorts of things that you can do. So here's your list. So now let's say it's time to send to her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open her. So I click on her, I open her profile in Sales Navigator, and you can see it looks a little different in Sales Navigator, right, than it does in LinkedIn. But it's relatively similar because it comes from the same database. But I don't want to see her in Sales Navigator. I want to see her in LinkedIn. So I'll click here, and then it says here, view in LinkedIn. I click that. Now it opens her in LinkedIn. Now this is what I understand, because this is what you and me and everybody else looks at every day. So now I can make my analysis in LinkedIn. So I found her in Sales Navigator, but if I want to connect with her, I'll connect here, add my note here, and say, how's it? Let's connect. Or I just send without a connection. I'm not going to do, but that's how you would do it. That's how you go from Sales Navigator to LinkedIn.
Just show it again. Did you click on?
Okay, so let's do the doctor here. So I'm in my list, right? So I click my doctor. I open it in a new tab.
Okay.
Okay. So now I've opened a Sales Navigator. See, there's the Sales Navigator email URL. It's a horrible, ugly thing. Then if I go here to the three dots and I say view profile, now it's going to open her in LinkedIn, and then you get like the profile we know. So it's that versus that.
Yeah, I missed those three. I missed those three dots there. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so now we've got her again. I can connect to her. I can add my note. Blah blah blah. LinkedIn.
Happiness.
All right, etc. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to cancel this. Now let's say I've done that. Then I'm going to now go back to my list. So my list, create list, and then I can say, okay, I've sent her a connection request. So now I can go into my note here and say done. Then I know tomorrow I've sent them. For some reason I forgot man. Oh, okay, well, it doesn't say I've sent it. Let me do him quickly. So that's kind of the easiest way to do it is to build these lists. So the process is search first. Right? Take your search filters, narrow them, navigate them, get a list of people, and the best way is that you read through it and say, okay, this is a good list. Then take this search list and then you build it into one of these lists, and then send connection requests, because now you know who they are and you've got a place to manage them. Later on, I'll show you a tool to actually download all of this data. You can't do it at the moment, but I'll give you a tool to do it when the time is right. Okay. I think that's more than enough for one day on Sales Navigator. I've given you a lot of food for thought. I'm going to let you guys go play now. So go play. You can't break it. So type anything you want. Go have a look at the results you get. Try different things, and find the right people and start messaging.
Tell me, but it's not available on your phone app. It's only on your desktop.
It is. No, it's on your phone.
Oh, well, I see it there as well. Okay.
Yeah. So they'll have a different app that you can download. They always try to get you to use the app. It's probably better. So they'll ask you, or you can just go to the App Store.
Okay.
And just download it, Google Play or whatever it is. Just download it.
I'm excited. You say we can go for 20 a day now.
Yes. Yes, you can go for 20 a day.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then next week, if you get to 25, then you're up to 40. Then you like in the big leagues, you can clop it. Then you need the automation tool because 40 is a lot. You
Yes,
need
I
40.
can imagine. Yeah. So it actually becomes a more of a tool because you're going to be spending
Yeah.
a lot of time on LinkedIn to manage everything and to who you have been sending stuff through.
You know what? I don't find I spend that much time for that. Like the most time that I spend is what I've just shown you now, is to build the list. Because typically, and I've got other tools which I'll share with you, like whether it's a GPT to write the connection request and that. There's tools that speed this stuff up. So the actual sending, that's actually not a big process. The hardest part is finding your list. The sending and the managing, because the managing is what comes in your inbox. It's like managing your email. That's all it is. And you don't get as much shit in LinkedIn as you do in your email. You get way more crap in your email inbox.
So
And
basically, what you're telling me, so while you're playing, you build a list. Let's say
Yeah.
X, Y, Z, A, B, C list,
Yes.
and you put your members in there. So then,
Yes.
so you can only send, let's say, 20 emails a day or requests a day. So
Yes.
the following morning, you go in there and
You
you
do the next 20.
and then you send it out on a daily basis.
Yeah.
That's how you build your audience.
Yeah. So you can build your audience in one sitting. Because like if you do a search and you've got 183 people, it's like you might as well just do 183 people now, because you might find only 120 or what you want, but that's enough for the week. Thanks. That job's finished now. I don't have to come back and do that fucking part tomorrow. I just go to the list, I pick up the next 20 and I go. So this is the beginning of you starting to build little systems to get this thing running like a smooth machine.
Okay, no, I get that. So my next question is, so the connections now, what I'm doing is I'm following up when someone has connected with me. I'll send him a message and say, who I am, like we did last week.
Thanks for
So,
having me.
so I'm not automatically, I leave it for a day and then,
yeah, it's cool.
because I don't want to sound too eager.
Yeah.
So I think I did ask you the question because I can see opportunities obviously here. So if me and Kate and Metsi, we can't work together but apart, hunting, let's say, Transnet, for example, or
You could, because you're doing different things. So like remember when very early on, first session actually, when I spoke about this idea of the niche, and I said it really makes sense for everybody to pick something that resonates with them.
yes.
So even though we're all in the same course together, like none of you are stepping on toes.
Yeah.
None of these folks are doing anything that you're doing.
Yeah. But I think I must do
Vice versa.
a little bit of a change on my about as well, but I'll fix that. That's not a problem.
Okay, but that's fine, because now you're starting to see the whole picture. Now you say, okay, now it makes sense. Now you go back, and it's even I change my stuff all the time depending on what's happening. So 100%, that's exactly how you should be using it.
Cool.
Kitamitsu, how are you? Is your mind thinking that you can find mothers now?
Yes, yeah, I think so. Like, I think my profile is ready, so yeah, I'm gonna start like with connection requests and yeah.
So if you haven't done a lot, then just start with 10 a day. Okay, so this process of stepping is very important to allow us to be able to do 200, because I promise you 200 is much better than 100. It's like significantly better, double, literally double. So you do 5 a day for a week, 10 a day for a week, 15, 20, and then when you do the 25, if they let you do it, then you know they've stepped you, because they don't step you in little steps. It's 100 to 200. But if you just start now, you'll be at 100. But if you step it, because we've done all the profile work, and now LinkedIn sees, oh, actually, there's been a progression. I see what's happening. Okay, fine, you can do more. And you've got Sales Navigator. I think that's quite an important feature also, that you have to have Sales Navigator to step you. But I've never seen LinkedIn take it away. So I think even if you later don't have Sales Navigator, I think you'll still be able to send 40. And particularly as you start to get more active, because not only will you be sending connection requests, like Kat is experiencing already, people people are messaging him back also. So now it's a two-way communication. So now LinkedIn's algorithm says, this oak's fixed his profile. There's some activity going on. People are answering him, and if you're posting content or any post content like this oak's a user, yeah, let's give him some love. What then happens is it starts to recommend you to other people in the feed, recommends the right people to you. It's a virtuous cycle. So the more we do, the better it gets for us. So yeah, just do your 10, start there, and just build it up until you get till you can step it to 40. And then you're in happy day territory. Because then you send a request a day, and that's nice to do.
So with the end in mind, basically, is that you want to build your network or your audience, whatever you want to call, okay?
Yeah.
Let's say of 2,000 people.
Yeah.
And then out of that 2,000, you're basically guaranteed, if you do certain things right, that people will come to you.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the end game.
That's the end game. So there's always a certain amount of people, typically 1 to 3%, regardless of what your industry or your profession or your product is, that's looking right now to buy that thing. So there's 1 to 3% of people that are shitting in their pants about coffee right now. They just don't know what to do, how to do it. Suddenly your thing pops up and it's like, shit, that's exactly what I want. Those are the oaks are going to jump on it and speak to you immediately. But there are going to be a bunch of other guys that's not on their radar right now. But in 3 months' time, suddenly, oh shit. Now I've been given an instruction, I need to deal with this coffee stock. Who is that? Let me just search. Oh, that's just connect me. Now let's go. That's how
I can see that trend developing now.
So, all right, I've done quite a lot on you today, to be fair, but it's good. So hack away, see what you can find, and yeah, stay in touch with Ellen. She's a cool chick. She's a bookkeeper. She's lovely woman. She posts normally. She posts like dumb jokes on LinkedIn. So like her posts are kind of if you want to chuckle in the morning, you know, like dad joke type dumb jokes, then she's your girl. All right, guys, we'll catch up with you same time, same place next week.
Thank you very much.
Lekker, man.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one. Okay, cheers. Bye.
Bye. Bye.